Next to British politics, and they are really ramping up this morning. British Prime Minister Theresa May set to address her Conservative MPs tomorrow. That was a headline that broke just in the last hour after an unprecedented vote in the Commons yesterday gave MPs the power to control the next Brexit debate. There is some speculation May could give her own exit date because of growing criticism of how she's handled the Brexit proceedings. Chris O'Neill-Yates is in London to take us through what has happened with MPs wresting control from the government on this.
Well, Heather, that late-night vote in the House of Commons could have very far-reaching consequences over where Brexit goes from here. MPs voted by a margin of 27. It's a cross-party backbench plan to come up with alternatives to Brexit. It's a bit of a crushing blow to the authority of Theresa May after they chose to take over the driver's seat on this Brexit bus. In all, 30 members of May's caucus voted to take the Brexit process out of her control. 3 of her ministers resigned yesterday to vote in favor of exploring alternatives to her twice-defeated deal. In his resignation letter, the former business minister, Richard Harrington, said, and I quote, "I regret that the government's approach to Brexit has been playing roulette with the lives and livelihoods of the vast majority of people in this country. I fear that no deal would be part of a giant economic experiment championed by a small minority." Now, May admitted yesterday she doesn't have enough support to even bother bringing her plan back for a third vote, and she's refused to present a plan B. So in this countdown to April 12th, the latest date, it's a question now of whether they can come up with something or whether Britain will leave the EU, crash out, as they say, without a deal.
Yesterday, she also wouldn't say whether she would abide by the outcome of these indicative votes, Chris. So let's go through the kinds of options, the series of votes that backbenchers are going to put forward and vote on. What does this all mean?
So, for example, it could be to invoke a customs union with the European Union, often called soft Brexit. It could be a free trade deal similar to the one Canada has with the EU. It could be a single market arrangement like Norway's got. They could come back and say, let's hold a second referendum. Or the result could be no deal at all. Now, it's important to remember it's not binding. None of it is binding, but they needed something to get them out of this constitutional and political crisis, and nothing was on the horizon. So it remains to be seen now where this will lead and what Theresa May, if anything, will plan to do about it.
You picked a great week to be working out of our bureau in London, did you not? Interesting developments by the day.
Sure did.
And Chris O'Neill-Yates, thank you very much for this hour.